It seems like the Super Giants continue to hold a grudge against their former skipper KL Rahul. What a pace bowling paradise that was, and as a batter, you just couldn't go out there in the middle and smash it around without giving yourself some time to settle in. A typical IPL pitch converts bowlers into bowling machines. This one on where LSG might have handed their advantage away. What I think. LSG might have lost this game, but boy, if they could dish out such seam-friendly pitches. But KKR were very much in the game at 120 for 3 in the 11th over. Is even coaching you? The Pakistan cricket team? Varun Chakravarti's form now continues to remain a concern. He has been hit for a few, went for 25 runs in the first over. And he seems to have changed his action a lot. Even Dave Steyn has made a mention of it. There was a comparison between his action in the 2020s and now in 2026. Three misfields happened in his over in which he managed to concede a lot of runs. Hello. The first round of matches in the IPL got done at the Ekana Stadium in Lucknow, where Delhi Capitals romped to what turned out to be an easy win over the hosts, Lucknow Super Giants, in the fifth game. And boy, how times are changing to these off-field battle these days. It seems like the Super Giants continue to hold a grudge against their former skipper KL Rahul, given all that went about on their social media account before and during the match. And they might have had a big chuckle after Rahul was dismissed of the very first ball of their chase. Speaking of a chuckle, Rahul and his team, however, had the final laugh when they eased to a win with 3 overs to spare. Now, those off-field skirmishes aside, the one striking feature about this game was the pitch at the Ekana Stadium. Oof, what a pace bowling paradise that was. And as a batter, you just couldn't go out there in the middle and smash it around without giving yourself some time to settle in. Even Sameer Rizvi, who played a masterful innings in the end, finishing unbeaten on a match-winning 47 ball 70, was all over the place to begin with. I think he took about 7 or 8 balls to get off the mark. Excellent innings in the end from Rizvi, having consistently watched him bat during the UP T20 League, and he comes across as a batter who can see the team through. But at the same time, he has all the shots as well. And he got his chance to do just that in this game, which is obviously IPL is a couple of notches above UP T20. But the big advantage was obviously he had played all of those matches in the UP T20 on that very pitch at the Ekana ground. And that knowledge really shone through. Other than Rizvi, though, this match belonged to the seamers. The bounce, the swing, the pace. A typical IPL pitch converts bowlers into bowling machines. This one, well, as the jingle goes, it gave the bowlers wings. So much so that Prince Yadav actually got struck into Tristan Stubbs at one point. They had Aji Baji during one of his overs. A quick one on where LSG might have handed the advantage away. They had 4 fast bowlers in their ranks, which meant that they needed to bowl 4 overs of spin at some point. But when you're defending a score of 141 on a fiery pitch like that, you probably don't need to bring in your spinners till it's absolutely necessary. And now that's one of 2 scenarios. The seamers are going for a lot of runs, and you have the option to bring a spinner in, or they're done with, say, 14, 15, or even 16 overs, and then obviously you're left with no options. Instead, Shahbaz Ahmed was brought in to bowl in the 10th over. He went for a lot of runs. And at that stage, at 61 for 4 in 9 overs, things might have been different had they continued with their seamers. Now, here's what I think. LSG might have lost this game, but boy, if they could dish out such seam-friendly pitches and unleash their killer fast bowlers, all of whom are of different variety. There is someone who bowls really quick, some can swing. There's Mohammad Shami who can do a lot of other things. And there are a few who are waiting in the ranks as well. They have Mayank Yadav, Naman Tiwari, who's another UP T20 League product, Avesh Khan, and a couple of others. If they can adapt their batting mindset to these conditions, they could turn this ground in Lucknow into a fortress. Lastly, a quick mention about LSG's new jersey. Yeah, I quite like it. The only team probably to have different color stripes running down the body. It gives a bit of a football vibe, but it also differentiates them from the rest of the jerseys. So what are your thoughts on this? Not just the jersey, about where LSG lost it and what can they do in the times in the matches to come. The 6th match now, which was played last night, and Kolkata Knight Riders fell to their 2nd successive defeat to kickstart their tournament, also becoming the first team this season to lose while chasing. The margin of 65 runs points to it being a one-sided game. And yeah, to an extent, it was a one-sided game. But KKR were very much in the game at 120 for 3 in the 11th over in response to 226. The asking rate was 11.5 at that stage, 11.5. But it was a little bizarre to watch things unfold the way they did on the field. Now, there were a couple of excellent catches, especially one from Varun Chakravarti. But boy, what a mess it was, other than that. That ninth over bowled by Shivam Kumar was something. Like to have one misfield of that kind at that level, where the fielder has overrun the ball is bad enough, but three in the same over, like who is even coaching you? The Pakistan cricket team? And then there was a running between the wickets for Ankush Raghuvanshi, who could have been run out of successive balls, though, in the end, Cameron Green did get run out because of that. There was a manic calling, and just a few overs later, he finally did just that, ran himself out to another bad call. Someone, I think, on Crick Info called it his Inzi moment. And as much as I feel for the youngster, I cannot help having a laugh about it. Varun Chakravarti's form now continues to remain a concern. He has been hit for a few, went for 25 runs in the first over. He bowled 2 overs for 31, did not come back. But bowling him in the power play when his confidence has clearly not been at its best was a strange move for me. I'd said this during the T20 World Cup as well, that I wouldn't drop him for the final unless I see something in the training and in the dressing room that says that things are really off and the morale is absolutely done. What I think is that the captain here either needs to drop him because you can give him a couple of games of break, or if he's continuing to play him, then it makes sense to protect him a little, to try and build his confidence back, because it's a long tournament. This is not just 3 or 4 or 6 matches like was the case in the T20 World Cup. So you have to back him. If you want to back him, then back him in a manner where you are giving him that the luxury of having fielders outside and not bowling him that often during the power play. Now, since there has been a lot of talk about the English commentary that has been doing much better than the Hindi one, must quickly point out that there was a very interesting discussion yesterday about Kartik Tyagi's bowling action. And I had spoken about Tyagi in the first LSG match podcast, and he seems to have changed his action a lot. Even Dave Steyn has made a mention of it. There was a comparison between his action in the 2020s and now in 2026, with the commentators saying that his old action looked a lot better than his current one. The current one was compared with Danny Morrison's, probably in jest. But it would have been good to hear why the old one was better than the new one. And I might have missed it. Probably the TV was on mute at some stage. But I would love to know in the comments that if you caught it, why was it said that his old action seemed to be better than the new one? Speaking of SRH, I'd also spoken about the need for them to change something around in their bowling to have something incisive, an X factor, someone who can either hit the pitch hard or someone who can bowl wrist spin. I had mentioned Zishan Ansari, and they did make that one change as they got in left arm wrist spinner Shivam Kumar for his debut. And I thought he did a decent job for someone playing his first match, although he did concede 41. Those three misfields happened in his over, in which he managed to concede a lot of runs. So let me know what your thoughts are on both the previous match and the Kolkata Knight Riders one, and where they actually lost this to start off their campaign with 2 defeats from 2 matches.